Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, lovely ones? I've had some great conversations with you guys and appointments. I just love it. You guys are just super good and sweet, loving. So you guys are doing good. You really get it. I'm just really proud of all of you. What you're doing and helping others, and your advice is right on, and you guys are just getting good. I'm proud of y'all. I really am. This planet is a bit of a tough way to go when it comes to the natural healing arts, and we're all going to make a big difference, aren't we? I can tell all of you guys we're like a family, and it feels good that you guys are on board and doing the do. Thanks, JG, for helping. Kelly, Kelly, I know it's tough, but knowledge is power in a sense, and understanding what the problem is important, because there's a point where you have to go from mystery and mystique and allopathic ideology and all the ridiculousness that's out there, and you get down to basics and simplicity, and you understand. Going all raw, going all fruits for a while, self-discipline's definitely required. And sometimes it takes months. And so I appreciate the comment, JG. Kelly, your diet sucks. Get more focused. And you're going to have symptoms. And it's going to take you a while. So if you expect instantaneous results, you're going to be disappointed, because it's a process, and you've got to work it. You've got to understand what you're up against and how important it is that what you're doing. And actually, why are you eating fruit? Do you know? Do you know why you're doing herbs? And that's important to understand all the whys. That's why I teach people the most simplistic way I can, and I use things to identify with, like sewer systems and septic tanks and things like that, so people can understand how simple health is. But it's a process, no question about that. And thanks, Road to Wellville. Appreciate the info and comments and stuff there, sweetheart. Do appreciate that. Now, I'm kind of looking at two stacks here that there's very important things to cover and not so important things to cover. So, forgive me, I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. I've kind of got a lot stacked up here, and I'm coming in tomorrow morning and try to do a couple of hours with you and catch up with this. So, I've got roughly 45 minutes this morning. And so forgive me, but let's kind of go into this and catch up, because some of you have some important questions, going through some things that I'd like to get to you. So I'm going to tell Chris to put this, at least the first part of this up, probably first before the ones he's behind. And now we've got our guy back, so we should be getting caught up here with the videos. It's too bad it isn't, just real easy to put it on. Yeah, I love some of your comments. You guys crack me up, and you guys are good people. I tell you what. Yeah, I know. When I take my glasses off, get ready. I don't know. It's an interesting world out there, Master Jack. I'm telling you. And if it wasn't so serious and so many people suffering, it would just be something else. Oh my God. This one was, I have complete adrenal exhaustion and underactive thyroid from my hair analysis. It was recommended that I eat protein meat with supplements, minerals, and to stay away from fruits and veggies. I'm a bit confused. Well, don't be confused. Who's confused is the labs. This is why I don't do a lot of hair analysis. It doesn't matter to me what someone else says. And this is what I want to get you guys so knowledged up and experienced. There's nothing like experience. When you have experience, no one can take that away from you. When you know truth, no one. You've got it. And that's why you have to ride the ride. That's why you have to put on the robe. No matter what you do, Doesn't just this. Anything you want to know, be the soul. Soul experiences creation by becoming the experience. Mind analyzes sections off, compares, rationalizes. That's the mind. And it uses all the past and present experiences and kind of shifts it like a deck of cards and figures out, and then the emotions is the driving force. But truly you, as soul, become the experience. And so no matter what it is, Kelly, and now only people become the experience, because you can't make a judgment unless you ride the ride for a while. Riding a ride for a month or two and you can make a judgment? I don't think so. Ride it for a year and then make a judgment. So this is why I got rid of hair analysis and crap like this, because these labs haven't got a clue. They're medical thinking. I was taught by the Paul Eck and that lab, which is basically the originator of hair analysis, pretty much. But they have different kinds of biochemists, and they have different concepts of health. Medical has protein concepts and ridiculous stuff like this. So if you're getting a hair analysis, I don't even look at the mineral ratios. Who cares? They're going to come into balance no matter what you do. You can't balance them out by taking supplements. That's what hair analysis is involved around, is supplementation, chemical homeostasis. That's not why you do a hair analysis. You do a hair analysis to look at your toxic elements, your toxic metals like mercury, cadmium, lead, and just to give you a look. But how do you get them out of you? Well, you can do chelation, but I don't like that. I like true chelation is detoxification. You can't beat it. And it's head to toe. So I really like that. Plus you regenerate tissue at the same time. There's every plus you can name for detoxification. But don't listen to what the friggin' lab says. You know the truth about the diet. So just take a look at your hair analysis and see where you're at with the minerals. It's just a little look. It's like, hey, the KB, yeah, honey, don't fret the small stuff. You know the truth. These are just little tidbits to help you put the puzzle together why you might be suffering. But you don't know. Someday we're at the point where we should be able to take what Rife did and a lot of the people did, and really identify Star Trek, and be able to scan the human body for frequencies. Everything has a frequency. Every metal, every parasite, the condition and frequencies of cells, whether they're strong or weak. Iridology should have just been a stepping stone to an electromagnetic scan that simply just scans the electromagnetic frequencies of the human body. You can tell where everything is and how much is there and everything else. Why wouldn't we have that now? Because they're not focusing there. The ability, I'm sure, is quite there. Quite an undertaking to discover the frequencies. Rife did a lot of great work. So what happened to him? Somebody put him under the ground, and the head of the American Medical Association for California. What'd they do? Find him dead, poisoned it from his toothpaste or something? I don't know. I read some of the newspaper articles on it. Sad stuff. Sad stuff. Let's see. Your information's off. Thank you so much. There, Six String. Hey, man. Few months now, 70% raw. All right. I had sort of endorphin. Really pumped you up, didn't it? I mean, I'm telling you, you guys can enter some zones, man. Some real high zones. Freak you out. You have to kind of get balanced after a while. You'll see what I mean. Let me tell you. Six String, you're going, man. Yeah, Chris. What's Chris doing with this YouTube site? Putting music to it now. Rosalind, thanks for. I don't know. Let me see here. I'm suffering from a lump in the throat for 10 years. This condition is known as blah, 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 spasm. And I'm going to put it that way because it's esophageal spasms. Well, what spasms? Tissue, and that's acidosis. And acidosis, of course, depletes calcium out of the tissues. So you become spastic in these tissues. That's all it is. And then congestion and mucus, becomes spasticity. That's where the lump comes in. It's a lump of mucus in your esophageal wall. And so had the same thing happen to me. I've been through all kinds of things like everybody else. And so there's the point I got into Mountain Dew drinking. Talk about mucus forming and high sugar. Holy crap. But I was just so stressed, and I developed the same lump. Well, and I went on carrot juice and a lot of carrot juice, and that was in the earlier years. You didn't realize the power greens had over simple carrot juice. Jensen discovered he had prostate cancer and put himself on a 3-month carrot juice fast, and I have the whole film of his whole journey here. And but that wasn't effective enough, and because carrot juice is not effective enough, it's a starchy veggie. You want the power. You get up to the lemon juice, the grape juice, night and day over the power of carrot juice. And then greens, of course, are far more powerful than carrot juice. But in the day, it was carrot juice. It's just, this is like wheatgrass. That should have been in the day, not now. Alfalfa should be now. So then I kept working, fasting, trying to get it out, but I wasn't as good as I could have been when I looked back on it. Of course, I didn't have any herbs to help me. And that lump just kept going down. I went into the hospital, and they looked down because I thought it was going to shut off my breathing. They looked down my throat, didn't see anything. I said, "You don't see anything?" I knew it was a waste of my time then because it was in the wall. And so it ended up settling down and creating a hiatal hernia in me, swelling my esophagus. So you kept cleaning out, and this mucus will come out. So you got to detoxify to get that lump out of that throat, my friend. Jimmy, I know that one personally well. Yeah, leaking in the second stunt too. Okay, random raw uncut. Hi, sweetheart. Karen, I can understand. I mean, there is some people, you've got fear-based issues. The second shunt, we're all plugged in, right?
Yeah, I checked it
God,
3 times.
Man, I can't believe that. That's not good. Oh, good day, my friends. I'm going to keep adding on to this video I shot this morning, and we found the video, the camera unplugged, and the battery was short, so I was talking away again for a good half hour. Well, I was talking for about 45 minutes, and we only got 12 minutes recorded. So it's like, oh, now I got to figure out what I didn't cover with you guys. I was going down the line here, so forgive me here about this because, oh my God, when that doesn't happen, it messes me up bad. So, let me see if I can shift through here. If I haven't answered your questions, please submit them again because I don't know what I covered and what I didn't cover. So I appreciate you bearing with me here. Oh, I hate when that happens. I think I covered the guy with the eyes falling asleep when he was reading. He gets up. He's got a lot of blurry vision. If I didn't use the eye wash and wash your eyes out, take it internally, but move your limbs. Chances this is just lymph issues in the eye. That's common for that sort of thing that blurry and moves around. But it also is the setup for cataracts and on down the line to MACD and stuff like that. So you really want to use a topical eye wash and clean that internally, move thy lymph system. That's kidneys, the adrenals, and definitely hit the GI tract when you do that. I think I talked about the father that had his pituitary moved at 34. I just got another brain tumor here a few minutes ago. I mean, it's just what's happening out there. The moms that carry for muscular dystrophy. I think I talked about the father that had his pituitary moved at 34. I just got another brain tumor here a few minutes ago. I mean, it's just what's happening out there. The moms that carry for muscular dystrophy, and this is the Gregson family. I think I covered you early in the 12. I know I covered you somewhere in that 45 minutes, but genetic remembering is a fact, and I was talking about that. You've got to, this whole process of detoxification is a process of cellular or tissue rebuilding, regeneration, and genetic remembering of cells. And it sounds like a lot of words, but it really isn't. It simply means you're going to make your cells better than they ever have been, even beyond their genetic memory patterns. And you've got to do that in these cases and not freak out when they use the word genetics. Genetics is in everything. Your cells are a genetic imprint of your parents. And I was talking about that each generation has 18 to, sometimes 15, 18 to 20 some years before you conceive. So we always make because most people aren't raw foodists. So obviously when we eat a sad American diet, or we eat diets generally around the globe, they're mainly proteins and beans and starch. And so we end up weakening our cells further and then passing them in a weakened state. So each generation is obviously much weaker than the one before it. Just a fact. You can see that, and you look at all the young children. A lot of you guys are younger, and I see so many problems, and my heart goes out to you. But we're the generation to turn this around. And that's essential, and you guys are instrumental in doing that. I'm looking at a lot of your comments. I love your comments. I think I was telling you, Road to Wellville, thanks. I think I already covered that in 12 minutes. Is this these eyes?
Yeah. Do you want me to sit in here?
Yeah, let's bring them over here and let's see here.
Hello for the strip here.
This is the guy I just called?
Yep.
Well, there's so much glare up there at the pituitary area, I couldn't see the pituitary at all. Too much glare right in the pituitary area.
You'll have to come look on Chris's computer.
Yeah, but he definitely has some thyroid weakness, but he's got enough of these weaknesses that there's definitely a take-in pituitary in consideration there. I'll look on the computer, but there's the way whoever took the picture, the glare is right in the pituitary area. Tell him he's got some parathyroid weakness to have all that connective tissue issues, and he's got to strengthen that up. Not just thyroid, parathyroid. This was important. A lady's daughter with SCA, an inherited genetic disorder where the cerebellum and spinal cord are affected. I hope I have that in the first 12 minutes here, John. If I didn't get on that, let me tell you, got to get her in here, get her lymph moving. This is the lymph system. That's why she's progressively getting worse. Get in here, get her lymph moving, get those kidneys filtering, get those adrenal glands up, and really get her moving on this. And that's the only hope she's got. She gets down that road, she'll pull herself back, she'll regenerate, and she'll pull herself back out of this. And that's the only way that she has. If she's young, she'll really do this faster than later. Yeah, I mean, she's watching her daughters losing her ability to walk, slurred speech. Oh, absolutely. No time to waste. Upper circulation, brain and nerve, 2 kidneys, GI tract, stomach and bowel, in other words, lymphatic 1 capsules, and another lymphatic system. Sometime end up on lymphatic 3. Real strong puller of the lymph. But really got to take care of this one. She could get maybe some relief with some ear candling temporarily. Oh, this is about ear candling. Look at that. Thanks. I tell you, it's amazing. This one's about ear candling. Someone had, on the internet, read where it was a bad thing to do, and it's like, oh my God, I love ear candling. Definitely good for pressure in the head. You know, if you don't do enough of them, you feel kind of stuffy here. You want to do 2 or 3. If medical doctors don't like this, try their way. Blow it out. Not good. You know, the ear candle is a knife-safe way to pull and clean the ears out. You know, I have suffered all my life with ear dandruff and painful pressure issues. Sweetheart, KALAM, I don't know if I got you on the first 12 minutes, but certainly that is all lymphatic, sweetheart. All lymphatic. Really move those lymphs, get your kidneys, get your adrenal glands up and moving, and make sure you see that sediment. I'm getting the comment with lemonade. Here's lemonade next. Look at that. Talking about that sediment. And you'll start to see it. You start to see it. Then you'll feel the difference. Like you said, you had the best run ever. When you see that sediment, and then it'll really clue you in that the kidneys are the viable eliminative organs to the lymph system. And then you're smarter than most of the practitioners out there. Most of you guys already are. No offense to the practitioners out there, but they've got to get with this. Yeah, so definitely move thy lymph, sweetheart. Lemonade, good work. You made me laugh, so I don't know. I don't know what I got in the first 12 minutes, so I apologize. But they came in and the cord was unplugged down on the floor. It was like, oh. But, yeah, lemonade, you can get your butt kicked sometimes. But if you're going too fast, slow up a little bit. It's okay. No shame in that at all. So, sounds like you're really got your pedal to your metal. I mean, you're really honking on. So I love you, dear one. You're kicking butt. Let's see. Noticed a great increase in the frequency of my urination daily and throughout the night. I've cut back on my water and green juices. I think I probably rant and raved about this. It might not be on the 12 minutes. But this idea of drinking all this water is insane. You don't see it, and your fruits and vegetables are full of water. For those that are very acidic, they'll just get edemic, can create additional breathing problems, can push you into congestive heart failure. You don't drink all this water. You want to cut back on that and rehydrate properly. You can't rehydrate the body with water. I think I was telling you, I have a lady in yesterday. She's been trying to rehydrate herself with water. Now get this. When this lady does astringents, the lymphatic 4 has a lot of astringents outside of the lymph formulas. And astringents are like lemons. They draw, they pull, they pucker that mucosa. Well, that moves lymph. When she does astringents, including lemons, she gets constipated. Why? Because she's so dehydrated that it just sucks the water out of her. So this is really, when you're that dehydrated, that's serious acidosis. So cut down on the water. Let's see, get your bowels moving there. I'd use a bowel formula. Even if you have to go up temporarily while you're moving this trash out of you, you might have to, and then you'll start going back down on them. Yeah, I mean, you're cut down on the water and stuff. You'll be okay there, man. I think it's the right thing. Perhaps slow down detoxing fruit juices, bringing in some salads. I'm having some scary detox symptoms with my left leg. Yeah, you were talking about the left leg. You got a big size of a football. And then there's the other, and I don't know if I got this glaucoma on my 12 minutes, so I'm going to hit it again for you because this is real important, Life Regenerator, that you get this and know that that you can overcome glaucoma, and any vision loss or damage can be returned. Anything can be regenerated if you're high enough on that totem pole of power and nutrition and magnetics. I can tell you, I've seen things here just blow your mind. But after a while, it starts to make sense that the body is a regenerator, and your name is the Life Regenerator. So you're going to handle this. Glaucoma is a pressure that's not blood. It is lymph, and it's the worst kind of pressure because it's an acid pressure. And so, all glaucoma, extremely curable, and not as a disease. I mean, they got, keep separating the concept of diseases out of your mind and understand it's lymph pressure, and that's an acid pressure, and that's the worst kind of pressure. So you want to get that out, but it also could affect the whole head area, the cerebellum, the equilibrium, dizzy, vertigo centers. I mean, it can affect you in a lot of ways, man. Deterioration of the upper C-spine and stuff. So really move your lymph. It's going back to your kidneys and adrenals again, but fix your colon. Go after your colon, my friend, and you'll be well. There's another question about glaucoma here too, and it's real fixable. Here it is. Well, that was you, and there's a couple more here. I just don't know if I got it on my first 12 minutes here today, so again, I apologize. Here's a lady with 25 and 27 pressure in each eye, respectively. Yeah, go, sweetheart. This is FDSELG. Absolutely. Get that out of you. Move those lymphs. Rebounder, no. Greens, no. Ear candling, yes. Neti pot, yes. Steam bath, yes. Meditate, yes. And get on that fruit fasting. Get into a kidney formulas, lymphatic formulas, clean up the bowels. Same thing. And just really clean up the doors that make everything flow well. and you're going to be good. Both of you will be good. I've never had a glaucoma case no one could get rid of. I've never seen that. So, and even with partial sight damage, you can return it. I mean, you can regenerate it. But you're talking way up on the fruit game, way up on the fruit game. I still have to laugh. Whoever said that about my glasses, I do. I guess when I get passionate, I'm ready for bear. You know, you guys are funny. I just had a fellow YouTuber in here, and it was Yoga by Jane, I think her name is, and sweet thing. And I have to laugh, you know, because, but she is like a lot of you and me. I feel we have a really good, solid sight. I don't care about the numbers. I care about the quality, and you guys are top-notch, top-quality viewers and subscribers. You guys are getting it. I love how you're helping each other. And we got a very powerful force, and as we move this powerful force and increase this powerful force with like-minded spiritual beings, we will bring the light to this this darkened area of creation, even though it's not real. It's just a playground of ideas and emotional needs. Let's see. Oh, I was going to talk about this, and I got off my thinking here. It'll come back. I have to slow down your detox. Oh, yeah. Some of you went through some real strong detox symptoms. And most of you are pushing the pedal to the metal. So if you have to slow up, some are scary, I know. And is this random, raw, uncut? You've done well, sweetheart. Karen, you've done well. With the tubal swelling and all that, you've done well to move through that. There are some negatives to detox, but those negatives all equal one gigantic, huge positive. And so keep moving through this. Whatever we do, if we need to go get a blood transfusion, we can get a blood transfusion. If we don't need to expectorate the lungs or to pull fluid out of the lungs, we can do that. If we need feeding tubes, we'll put in feeding tubes. Whatever we need to save you. I don't know, remember in 12 minutes, I was telling you about the old guy in the nursing home. 2 years. 2 years he hadn't spoken to his family. Laid there kind of comatose. Feeding tube. So his wife and his son came in here, and this was in June, I think it was. By Christmas, we had him home and talking and playing with his grandkids. Now, that's the power of regeneration. That's the power of what you guys are doing. And hang in there, because you're going to do well. And like this, who is this? Venice Stew. Yeah, you're going to see expressions. Thanks for helping too. But you're going to see these weird things happening to you. Something popping up here for a minute and then going away. Venice Stew. Yeah, you're going to see expressions. Thanks for helping too. But you're going to see these weird things happening to you. Something popping up here for a minute and then going away. That's good detox, by the way. Good detox is when you see something here 1 minute, it goes away, and you see something over here the next. One time it's the knees, oh, next time it's the hip, oh. Wherever you're weak, you're going to see and experience. However, when you hold a detox symptom too long, I don't like that. Either you're doing too many vegetables, you need to kick it up another notch, or you need to try to stop the detox. Remember, it is possible to get worse on raw foods in terms of decay or cancer or something like this if you're not getting to that area. If you're not moving lymph in the area that's having an expression or a problem, then you're not going to be able to remedy that problem. If I can't get all this lymph cleaned up and moving through the kidneys, I can't get this brain tumor out. But if I can get the kidneys filtering, get these lymph nodes drained, get the sternum, get the axillaries, get the back, get everybody moving, get the neckline, get all this moving. Now I can move that tumor out because there's a pathway for that tumor to be drained out of. The body, you have to give the body the key intelligence to do this. It'll create them and it'll uncreate them. That's simple. And I've seen the hardest tumors back down and open up and eliminate through the lymph system. But we got to clear the path. And that path, of course, is the lymph system with the doorway, the kidneys, controlled by the adrenals. And then you guys will always be successful. Those of you that are seeing sediment now, you'll start feeling better. You'll start seeing things improving much quicker. Why some people filter quicker than others, I don't know. I talked about fear, and I hope, again, forgive me if this is repetitive to the first video, but I only have 12 minutes. I don't know what I got on there or what I didn't. But fear is in a parathyroid. This is all four paths. I love that heart on the earth. I love that. I keep having fear about my 17-year idiopathic peripheral neuropathy. Idiopathic is right. That goes to those guys. She had parathyroid surgery. Oh, they only took one. Good. Okay. Diabetes, where does that take you? Of course, that takes you to the adrenals. And then there's the kidneys. And then there's the lymph system. And then there's acidosis. And so that peripheral neuropathy will go away, sweetheart. You can rebuild that quite easy. It's sure a lot easier than rebuilding MS or spinal cord injuries, let me tell you. So your body will rebuild that and strengthen that. Get high on those fruits. Remember we talked about how fruits are the most empowering to man's nervous system? Absolutely. But go after those adrenals. You're starting to see that adrenal weakness show up in blood sugar metabolism. So go after those adrenals, go after those kidneys. I think you gave another clue here. Oh, you're the one that called me Grandpa. I hate that word. I'm not a grandpa. I'm too young feeling to be a grandfather. And yet, my oldest granddaughter is 25, is she? I mean, I didn't say that. I don't know. I feel like I'm 20. Grandpa. Nah, I love it. Thank you here, sweetheart. I know you did. 53 years old? You got to be a grandma. You rock. Thanks. You rock too, sweetheart. Thank you, Lori. Hang in there. Get your kidneys going. Get that lymph going. Work on your bowels there, sweetheart, and get that cleaned up. You might be able to grow that parathyroid back if you get on some raw parathyroid tissue, and at the same time you're really moving lymph. This peripheral neuropathy, that'll go away, honey. But make sure that happens, because you're only 53 and almost a grandma. You could be, so you might have not had any kids, eh? Not everybody has to have kids. I don't know why everybody thinks they do. I am suffering from a lump. Now, I don't know if I got this one in here, so I'm going to address it again, so forgive me if you have to listen to this story again. But I developed a lump in my throat from what? Guess what? Mountain Dew. I got trapped into Mountain Dew. It was sweet, like a fruit, and it was like, oh boy, and I'm so busy, and so I'm going, oh, this is good. Well, I developed mucus forming like crazy. Probably one of the most mucus forming soft drinks out there. So I got a lump in my throat. It wouldn't go away. I put myself on carrot juice. Remember, I talked about carrot juice. And the Dr. Jensen syndrome that found PSAs of 1,600. So he fasted immediately on 3 months of carrot juice. Taped it all so everybody could see his fast. Got pretty skinny. Still didn't get rid of it because carrots are a starchy veggie, not power. Grapes, apples, power. Oranges, grapefruit, lemons, power to move lymph. You know, and that's what this is all about. Or your greens. I was telling someone here to get up the parsley, the beetle. That was I got so many people here, it's like unbelievable. So most people did use carrot juice way back. I fasted on. I used carrot juice to try to get rid of my lump in my throat. I knew it was mucus. I was trying to get it to break up because I knew how I put it in. I mean, once you guys get this, then your body lets you know everything. Well, I went to the ER. They couldn't find anything. I was like, it's right there. I was afraid I couldn't breathe. And then finally, I felt it work its way right down the esophagus and then created a hiatal hernia for me. And I knew it was just mucus swelling the esophageal wall. So same thing here, bro. Detoxify. Get into the fruits, berries, and melons and really start pulling that out. Move your lymph system. Clean up the GI tract. Use Lymphatic 1 capsules. GI, stomach and bowel formula. 2 kidneys. Another lymphatic liquid if you want. And really honk on moving your lymph system. You could use the 3-lung tea too to help break that up. See, in the earlier years, I didn't have herbs to help me. Now we got some tools, and that's the key. Tools. And you guys will come up with even more of them. So it's cool stuff. Yeah, it's a spasm of the esophagus. Not really, it's a lump of mucus. You'll see what I mean. That will make the esophagus, that'll make anything spasm, because acid spasm tissue. Well, you know, in the event of calcium loss and all this. So, that's just a big wad of mucus stuck in your esophageal wall. You've got to get it up. Get it up. Oh, man. Well, if I don't show up one day for work, you know they came got me. You know, this is a scary time on this planet where governments don't want to lose their power. They become narcissistic, and this government is not any better than the other ones. This idea that they won't kill you. There's a few people at Kent State that'll disagree with you. This government will kill you just as fast as you can turn around. I had sort of a, oh yeah, 6-string. You kick butt, man, kick butt. Rosalind, we have music. We have Chris monkeying around with the YouTube. That's what we got. Now he loves it, you know what? And Chris is a good guy. He's a real good guy, and he really is growing with that. You know, you guys are helping him feel good about himself and that he has a big role in life. He's always been kind of, you know, that way. And now, you know, I hire people like that to get them out of their shell and to make them grow. This is about hair analysis. Now, forgive me if I covered this on that 12 minutes, okay? Because, you know, but I have to do this again. I have complete adrenal exhaustion and underactive thyroid from my hair analysis results. Oh, I was recommended that I eat protein meat with supplements, minerals, and to stay away from fruits and veggies. I'm a bit confused. This is the KB. Don't be confused. Don't be fooled by labs and idiotic crap that deals with supplementation. You know the truth. Stay with what you know. Be strong with what you know. You got a hair analysis for what reason? Either to look at your heavy or toxic metals or to see your mineral balances or imbalances. The problem with hair analysis, which I ran thousands of them, I'll still do them for you if you want them done, but I only recommend to see if you have mercury, lead, cadmium, or whatever. But never take what a lab says, because we have so much antagonistic chemistry. A good example, my mercury's high. If your mercury's high, it's pushing something else out. Chemistry has to find a balance. And when I was making this comment, so if it's on that 12 minutes again, forgive me. But it's like in chemistry, you've got a distant cousin, arsenic, that if you bring him forward and act like your brother, he'll kill you. And this is real important to understand that. And the same thing with all these heavy metals. All this stuff is a product of what your chemistry is. And don't forget utilization. They don't take in effects of utilization. And utilization of calcium is parathyroid, and the rest of the minerals are adrenal steroids. So there's so much to take in consideration. What I've done in 40 years is sifted through the crap and save you guys a lot of time and heartache and get you right to the point. And that'll make you the best healers on the planet. Keeping it simple will keep you spiritual. Because if you try to get too intellectual, it'll pull you out of your spiritual seat. And you'll start trying to rationalize and think too much. And that's just what the negative forces want you to do. Because as soon as you start thinking, you're off your consciousness. You're now involved in creation. So this is a test for you, and it's so simple. But I've weeded out all the crap. And, you know, it's one thing to add something, you know, but here and there. But these mineral analysis, these labs, I was taught by Paul Eck, and he's the #1 hair analysis guy. And I can just tell you, though, that forget what they say about supplements. It'll get you nowhere. This is just a hair analysis, just a quick look at your toxic metals and stuff. You can't even use your calcium, magnesium, phosphorus. You can see what's out of whack, but you can't bring it into a homeostasis with other chemistry. You can't do it. You got to go what's deeper. I'm taking you guys deeper into the body and saving you guys a lot of heartache and stuff. Someone asked me about whooping cough. Well, woohoo! Whoop it out of there. You know? I mean, what system do you think's involved in whooping cough? Blood? Nope. I'll give you one more guess. That's right, the lymph system. The lymph system. Go after that lymph system. You can use the 3-lung T. You can use the lungs number 2. Definitely hit the kidneys. Definitely hit the adrenal glands. Definitely hit the GI tract. Definitely hit the lymph system. Always use that Fab 4. Always. And then, like this lung and bronchial, you're going to use 3-lung T. You can breathe it in to drain the sinuses as well. But you're going to bring some stuff up here if you allow this to happen. Stay on Parasite M just to keep any major microbe activity and partying down to a low roar. So you got Parasite M, that's your antibiotic. But you really want to expectorate. And anything to help you expectorate. You're in a lot of mucus, feel like you got pneumonia, bronchitis too, okay. But your body is pulling and trying to remove stuff that you need to remove. So, you know, if you have a fever with it, keep the fever down to 103 and you'll be good. Is this Israel? Kramer. Tally. Yeah. Just detox, detox, detox. 3-lung T, lungs 2. You know, you could do hot and cold compresses on the chest. You could even do a castor oil pack on the chest. Even an olive oil press on the chest. You could even probably do coconut oil on the chest. You know, and bring it in and start breaking up this hardened sputum. And all this, when they're done with this, they'll feel so much better, Tally. Now, gosh, I want to make sure I get all you guys covered. Forgive me, but I'm just, I'm trying. I'm so backed up, but we have a no-show again, and this will help me do this. This lady always no-shows, makes appointments and never shows. Full heart. You know, I see your heart with the way you write me, and I love you too. In a full heart. I love people like you. We all wrap around each other with all our love. That's a bond that can't be broken. And the power of our wisdom and knowledge and healing in a full heart. I love people like you. We all wrap around each other with all our love. That's a bond that can't be broken. And the power of our wisdom and knowledge and healing can't be broken. Hard for a man to stand up to truth and deny it. So you guys are a powerful force to be reckoned with. I love that. Sediment in the urine means that, oh, 132 nice? 132? Absolutely. When you see sediment, those are the acids. Those are the acids, and you will see the lipids coming out. This was LabCorp, and they now are adding mucus threads. And I just saw your analysis where it's cloudy, and there's some mucus threads seen. That person is lucky. Now they can kick it up, and they can really get something done. So yeah, good advice, good advice. You can see sediment coming and going there. But as you get your kidneys more and more and more, you pretty much see it most of the time. Okay, here's the proof is in the pie. Pie. Got to be apple crisp, chocolate homemade. Oh, I shouldn't be talking that. We're talking about carob pie. And you can have apple crisp. Summit Medical Group. Osteochondritis. Bone chips of the elbow, it's been 3 years, got new job, got swelling, I think. It's one of those times to cut. Anybody comment? Absolutely, man. Again, you're talking about the lymph drainage through the axillary lymphs and out the kidneys. And so whenever you have acidosis of tissue, you're going to see the bone decaying because you're going to see the loss of calcium. So you are going to see the deterioration of bone structure. You want to do no protein, I guarantee you. That's phosphorus. That'll just break up bone matrix even more. So you really want to stay away from protein. If you really want to try to get that lymph moving at all costs, clean those kidneys and adrenals. If you want to pump some good bone regenerative things, make sure your parathyroid is in line. That might be an issue here with you as well. You're not utilizing calcium, therefore your structure is decaying at a faster rate. Move the acids out of the tissues to stop that. Get your parathyroid up so you can start utilizing calcium. Hit the kelp. Hit a lot of the dark greens if you want. Alfalfa high in calcium. They're all high in stuff. They're all good. But so is your fruits and berries. Don't forget those. And go down that road. We have a bones formula. Or go out and use horsetail, comfrey. I don't care what the FDA says. They can't. Comfrey's an old herb used for generations. Nobody ever got hurt from comfrey. I mean, this is the kind of intrusiveness that I won't tolerate. And we should never tolerate our governments to do that. And we only have certain tools to put a force up. Again, channeling God and letting God do it. That's the thing. But I can get passionate, don't you think? You know, because that's the game. That's the game. You get passionate about your creation, but you're detached all the while. Don't get lost in your creation. I just started all this stuff. You mean the herbs? I'm having a real hard time with all this. So much info. You keep saying that we must see sediment in the urine. Well, I never have really looked at my urine before I started this raw food diet. So could someone explain what the sediment should look like? Snow, snowflakes, dandruff. And those little things, those little plastic things with a clear plastic cover, and they got Santa Claus or something in there. You shake them up and you see all the snow. That's what your urine should look like. Mucus threads. Pee in a jar, you'll see mucus threads like little worms. Lots of sediment. Clear is clear. This is iced tea. See how clear that is? It's amber, but it's clear. There's nothing in there. If I took a sugar packet, and raw sugar, and opened it up in there and dumped it in there, or stevia, and dumped it in there, you would see all those little granules going to the bottom. That's what your urine should look like. Don't get upset. You'll be doing good. Raven. Is this Raven woman? pH disagreements. Because some base their efforts on researching the alkaline ash, some on the pH of food itself, some based on I'm not sure what you're saying here, and some on a combination of the above. What many don't realize is that due to the different levels of acidosis, some individuals are so depleted and reserve alkaline mineral salt. Absolutely, there, Lion Man. I mean, there's so many factors, and you just gave a good one, Lion Man. I mean, how dehydrated, how acidic are you? It determines how well, how fast you can create this very anionic medium, which is an acid dehydrated coagulated medium, into a cationic or a base chemistry, at least power punch, that helps to move, break up, and get this stagnant river of lymph moving. Because we don't realize there's a filtration system to the lymph system, that the kidneys are the big boys there. So's the skin. So I sometimes think it's better if you put all intellectualism to the side and you just eat your fruits, berries, and melons and your salads and not worry about the pHs of things. It's true that, and the only thing I can say is like pineapples, and they're real acidic fruits that if they're not allowed to ripen nutritively on the tree or plant, they will be acidic. More acidic. And that's one of our biggest problems with thinking citrus. We downgrade the citrus fruits because of our growing and picking procedures, not for the quality that they offer. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that our farmers are in a brain fog and that they're not standing on the quality of what they do. If they stood on the quality that I stand on my herbal formulas, we would have food that would make us go into ecstasy with every bite. Because quality, your love as a grower into your foods, your soil, and how you talk to your soil and build your soil up. I mean, and you let them ripen as much as possible. And the gift from you as a vehicle for God to say, here, enjoy this beautiful orange I just grew for you. My trees are in love with growing you beautiful food. You're gonna feel really good eating that. Farmers are in it for the money nowadays. This is Balance Beauty blog. I have 2 cases for which the input would be immensely appreciated. Okay, let's look at them. She has 2 cases here, or she. I never know which one, so forgive me here. One is a 38-year-old male with excessive sweating and a 39-year-old female with unplanned pregnancy. Yeah, you want to be careful with our female reproductive formula if you're taking that and you're on birth control and you're having fun, because women have gotten pregnant on birth control taking our female reproductive formula. It's like, oh. So anyway, it's 38-year-old male. Now what happens when we talk, let's see, he has mild to moderate sleep apnea, has frequent insomnia, and sweats buckets. I mean, sweating is like nothing else. He has a reduced sex drive, blah, 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 blah. I suspect that the pineal gland has to do with the sleep issues, but the apnea is all congestion in the esophagus, voice box, throat, larynx. I mean, this is all congestion. So once he moves the sinuses, cleans the esophagus, and cleans this mucus out, he won't have sleep apnea anymore. That's easy to go away. Same with snoring and stuff. But why would you sweat? Is that tied to congestion? Absolutely, isn't it? In what way? Well, what's your skin? Your body's 3rd kidney. So when your 2 main kidneys aren't filtering, guess who else has to? And if he's sweating buckets, that means his kidneys are sitting there not filtering too much at all. So this is a serious issue, and of course he's backed up in the GI tract, esophagus, and probably sinuses. So he really has to detoxify himself, go after those kidneys and adrenals on this case, and then when you see his sweating going down, you'll start to see filtration in the kidneys. Then he'll balance out with his sweating, and everything is good. And you'll also save him from future hell, moving his lymph system and up here in the head area. Really important to do that one. The 39-year-old female is newly pregnant with an unplanned pregnancy. You know what? Then I would just detox basically on food. You know, one thing you could take when you're pregnant like that, you can take like the superfood blend and give you a lot of nutrition. You could do Parasite M a little bit and kind of clean the fungus out of everybody, including the fetus. You could do any endocrine gland formula, definitely would be good, and enhance the endocrine glands of the fetus. Kidney formulas can be done. I just reserve lymphatic formulas, but a lot of women pregnant have used lymphatic 1. But I would be very cautious with that. Just who knows? We've never ever seen a problem. But I've always thought if a fetus is weak and you're detoxifying, the body's going to yank it because nature does not support weaknesses. Nature terminates weaknesses, so new ones can come in. If I'm a new soul coming on this planet, don't give me a sick little body. Give me a strong body. I'll wait. This lady had anemia. She's had speech difficulties as a young girl. All right. So you could go, and I would advise this on her, upper circulation and brain and nerve. This is really going to increase the abilities of that area, and it's going to translate into the fetus as well. You're going to have a fetus coming out writing calculus. But I would go that route and not over detoxify. Let me see here. I was talking about iridology here, and I don't think that came in on this last video that I recorded. But some iridologist, sclerologist told this lady that she had worms. She had a worm. I'll see if I can find that. And I have to say that has to be German iridology, because if you said that to Jensen, he would just hang his head in shame, because you can't see worms and parasites as far as we're concerned in the iris. It's like you can't see cancer cell. Anybody looks at your eye and says you have cancer, maybe the FDA should come in and whap them upside the head a minute, because that's a lie. Only a pathologist can actually stain a cell and tell you that it's a cancer cell. So these kind of things are egos and things like that. She might think she can see worms, but now this lady's all freaked out. Now let me see if I can find this and I'll comment on this more, but don't freak out. If you think you got worms, stay on the Parasite M&G or other parasite formulas. I don't care until you don't see them anymore. We had a lady in here today with a lot of roundworms, and she just has to keep going and keep going way past the time you see them in your stools, because you'll come out in your stools, and then make sure you go past the hatching season and everything, and you get the little ones too. Sounds good, don't it? Was it the Essene Gospel piece where Jesus fasted the person, then set their butt in a pan of milk, and then took the tapeworm by stone? I don't know. Thanks, and I hope the comments dewormed. Yeah, deworm yourself. That's all you got to do. Let me see. You know, this is the one that's using this machine for pain, but I'll tell you this, you've got to get in and remove obstructions, no matter what you're using to control pain, whether it's acupuncture, acupressure, therapeutic touch, any of these TENS-like machines, doesn't matter. You still, and one of you made this comment that went along with what I was saying, you still must, oh, it was on positive thinking. You still must remove the physical obstruction. I don't care what any positive thinker thinks. You still have to remove the obstruction to have remedy. And that's what you have to do here with your pain. Remove these acid obstructions. Going on that the body's feminine, and so the joint pain was emotional pain. Well, clean up your emotional body, and I guarantee you'll still have it. The weakness is definitely in the adrenals. That does translate to the emotions. So yeah, fix your adrenals, and if you're emotional, you can clean the emotions out, but sometimes that does relieve the adrenals. There's no question, but not all the time. Sometimes the adrenals are chronically weak. And God set souls in these weaknesses with emotional weaknesses. So why? So you have the opportunity to strengthen yourself up. So yes, 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 but you have to get into the physical part of this and clean yourself up there. That's Worms Part 2. Super Patty Lynn. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to share this tidbit. Last night I was reading from a book I hadn't looked for in years. Oh, yeah. Promotes natural healing, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, about the grapes. Absolutely. Yeah. 303. Absolutely. You know, if you look back, and you guys are knowing what to look for now, you look back, you will see this in places you didn't see them before. And I think that's cool. You guys are really, I just love you all. You're just really good. I was told by a cardiologist that, we went over this, cardiologists should not fast because it would stress my heart. This is a lot of love. Alona Lotta. You know what? I just disagree with that totally. But, however, I do like fruits and berries and melons as a form of fasting because it's balanced. It's nutritive. It's healthy. It's powerful. It's astringent. It's good for you. It enhances and cleans. So I like that better than water fasting. I do. But if you have heart problems, those are the only food you should be having because you surely wouldn't want to do the proteins. protein and heart trouble has always been linked. All these links have always been there. Cardiologists have always ignored them. I spent time in a lot of cardiac work, and I used to ask some of these cardiologists, why do you recommend meat eating when you know the link? They don't care. What do they care? You're a business machine. I think I talked about this yesterday. The holy, I'm curious to why is that your name, my friend? I look at, is this you, your picture? You look like a good person. You need to love yourself more. I really feel you're a really good soul there, and you call yourself the holy ass, but and you deal with the IBS. I can see that, but keep in mind we talked about the acids in the wall. So get in there, and you have a hernia tangled up in the small bowels, and also has 3 tight strictures where nothing can pass through the small bowels at all. I wasn't too sure what to tell the person, and they didn't believe that herbs would help whatsoever. Brandon. Well, Brandon, you know what? Some people are in a whole bunch of trouble, aren't they? And some people don't understand, why would you use herbs? Well, first of all, let's go to the hernia. Obviously, there's acidosis present to create a connective tissue depletion, which is a calcium depletion within the connective tissue to herniate the tissue. Now, they could have a parathyroid weakness, but you would always work with the parathyroid. Either they keep that bowel open and have stools, or they get clipped. When you start clipping the small bowel, you start clipping your absorption, and this is gastric bypasses. No one should. I understand the need of gastric bypass. I see some of these people. We have a 700-pound man here that wanted to do a gastric bypass, and he brought me in his paperwork from his gastroenterologist. And literally, they reduce the stomach down to a third of its size, and then they bypass almost the entire small bowel. Basically, they starve you to death because very little absorption of nutrients takes place in the distal end of the small bowel, the jejunum, and then into the ileal area and into the cecum and into the ascending colon. You don't have a lot of nutrition going in. Some trace elements. Most of those babies are absorbed in the upper part of the 22-foot of small bowel. And to bypass that, starving the patient. And if you look at their befores and afters and hear their stories, their literally health is falling apart because they have very little absorption of nutrients. What are those guys thinking? So this person is obviously in trouble. So you would use herbs to keep that bowel open, keep moving stool through. This is why you would only have a fruit diet. You wouldn't want to put anything coarse like meat fiber and all that crap into the bowels, not even vegetable fiber. You would want nice electrical fruit fiber. At the same time, you're going to get after those kidneys and adrenals because you know that in the wall of the bowel, in the wall is where the problem is. That's the lymph system, and that's going to chew up that bowel wall. So absolutely, Brandon, you're a good man to try to help this person, and you just you can turn them onto this site here and this video, but they've got to get this bowel opened up. If they can keep it open through bowel herbs, not laxatives, because this will really make it shut tight later, but nice gentle bowel formulas like ours, and get this open. And keep moving that lymph, get those kidneys and adrenals, and work on that lymph system. And keep moving that lymph. All that swelling, all that strictures will start opening up for them, especially while you're going after the parathyroid simultaneously. And then everything will start strengthening, their hernia will start reducing. If not, I'm sure they'll have to have surgery. Let's see. This is following the grape juice fast, taking the herbs. This is Rio 80. Got some vulva problems. Developed a rash under the skin. And I have blood in my nose. When I started with this, I had a very bad sinus infection. Well, this just tells me, sweetheart, that your lymph system's backed up head to toe. and you just really got to get that out of there. Anything vaginal, it's just location, 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 honey. And this is a kidney filtration problem with the adrenals. It comes back to that. That's how simple this is. This lymph system that we're talking about is all in the female parts, all in the male parts. It's all through the person. So you're just seeing that you're kind of involved head to toe, and you need to get that out of there. I put antibiotics, and guess what I got? Yeah. Well, you know what? You've got a lot of lymph stagnation in the vaginal area there, and you just have to clean all that out, and that's all the kidneys there, and you'll get all that cleaned out. You're in constant pain for 4 years. Oh, honey, definitely douche with Heal All Tea. I think you're already doing that. But yeah, you would definitely douche with that Heal All Tea, and at least once a night, and start cleaning it that way. And at the same time, that'll absorb through the tissues into the kidneys and bladder, and that'll help that. And then also go after your kidneys and your adrenal glands, and then start moving your lymph system. Clean up the bowels too, because that could help drain this sinus area that you've got, and you'll be in good shape. But good work on yourself. You'll keep getting that. You'll keep getting that, and you want to make sure all that's out of you. And that goes for people with herpes and anything else that you're dealing with. Detox, detox. Isn't it cool how detoxification is that golden key? That golden key. Always. The end result is the remedy, is the light at the end of the tunnel, is the cure, is the wellness, is the vitality. Now, listen, I want to thank you, Open Eyes and Arms. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate your comment from my heart. It does. Appreciate that. Lemonade. Trying to deworm. I've been taking it. You know, not everybody has worms, sweetheart. If you don't see any worms within the first 2 weeks, we figure you don't have them. You know, and some might, and they're just tough to get out, like tapeworms and stuff. But still, if you don't see them in about 2 weeks or pieces of them, chances are you don't have them. Microbes, a whole different world. You know. You did the douche with the Heal All Tea, worked it well, fantastic. Good. Yeah, you got it, hon. That's what you do. You just keep doing the do. You guys are good healers. I'm proud of you. Look at how many people are suffering with no remedy, and you guys are learning the remedy, and pretty soon there are going to be a lot of less suffering people out there. And then we can all sit around and have something chocolate. I mean carob. Yeah. Here's about on worms. Hello, I went to see a local iridologist sclerologist. I was disappointed that she said she saw a worm that was hooked at my heart and one in the pelvic area. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. The only time I've seen a parasite in the eye is when I actually took a picture and we saw a worm, a translucent worm, flowing through the sclera. That was a neat picture. But in terms of seeing, that's German iridology, who thinks they can see every little thing in the eye. And maybe, but I can tell you that don't get disappointed. If you don't see these things coming out, when you're on parasite M&G, nothing can stand that. It kills all the worms out of the body. So I'd have to tell you, if I had to say I agreed or disagreed, I'd have to say I disagree with them. Not through the iris, anyway. The one at the heart seemed long, like it was there maybe for years. She really pushed that parasites and worms feed on refined and natural sugars. Oh, man. You know, whoever you are, iridologist, sclerologist, hang up your badge. Go work at Walmart or something. You're telling people wrong information, and I don't appreciate it. She showed worms in people and did a pretty good job trying to get me off of fruit. Hang up your degree if you have one from anybody, and end your practice, because you're telling people totally wrong. This is, you want worms, they feed on protein. Most worms are protein feeders, proteolytics. I don't know what you're thinking about with refined sugars. That might be the fungal family because they're involved in fermentation. But natural sugar is essential. You learn your physiology. You got to have sugar. You got to have carbon, or your cells are a dead duck. So I don't know what she told you. Who is this Super Patty Lynn? Super Patty Lynn? I wouldn't go back. Don't let anybody confuse you. It's easy to understand this. Every cell requires a sugar. What do you think grizzly bears and all the bears load up on fat before they hibernate? Because during hibernation, the liver converts glycogen or fat into glucose. And glucose is essential, or fructose, to a cell. And that's essential. Why? Because that's carbon. Sugar is carbon chain constituents. And it's the carbon that we need, like a gasoline. It's carbon. And carbon and oxygen are essential for ATP. Now, ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Cell energy, essential. So when someone says, oh, don't eat natural sugars, they feed. These people are working with a few cards short of a full deck, or they didn't learn about how the body works, and they're a wannabe practitioner. And those are the worst kind. No offense to whoever this is. I'm going to mention any names. I don't have any names. But anybody that tells you crap like that needs to get re-educated on the truth. So with this problem, I have the lymphatic issues, kidney, high blood pressure. Ooh, high blood pressure. Absolutely. Go after those kidneys now. And mucus in the head area. Yeah, clean detox. If you have the swinging blood pressure, remember it's up here in the cerebellum. I'm giving you guys a lot of little clues, and that's going to make you guys supreme healers. I've been doing your herbs for about 3 months. Parasitidem, 2 kidneys, 2 lymphs. Good job. Good, good, good. No lymph movement yet. Well, you will, and you are. Even if you don't see sediment, guys, you are moving that lymph. You really are. I can tell you. But are you moving it real fast? No. But are you moving it? Yes. And so don't think you're not getting it. Now, sometimes some of these people where things aren't quite, they don't think nothing's happening, pretty soon you're going to go wham, and it really hits you, and you go, oh my God. So sometimes the body's just in that rehydration, that building mode, that building that cationic environment, that base chemistry environment, and then wham, and detox comes about. So hang in there. You're not doing it for naught. You're moving. Don't get disheartened. You know the truth. Follow the road, and don't let anybody deter you off that road. This person didn't know what they were talking about. And you were smart to understand that. Toxic and wormy and filly. I wouldn't buy a thing this person said. I like to let off sometimes. But I just can't stand these kind of practitioners that sit there and pull this crap on people. Oh, look, I see a worm. I don't have to empower myself by telling you things like that. And I've never, read an iridology book, study them worldwide, and never has anybody been able to see worms in ice. Life Regenerator. Oh, we're good. We need a phone conversation, but I want you to get this glaucoma out of you. You kick it up. You're doing a good job, my friend. And your adrenals, you got to work on your adrenals, get your kidneys, get this lymph moving. Because that's the only doorway to getting rid of this glaucoma, man. If you got too much pressure here, do the air candles to relieve a little pressure. Use a neti pot. Use the 3-lung tea. You can use even lungs 2. Really start to move and try to drain these sinuses. Hook to the transverse bowel, and of course definitely to the kidneys and adrenals. Keep going after those and break that loose. If you have sulfur, my friend, in the gut, this is what's holding you back. And so we'll open that door and you'll just keep getting that out of there. So kick it up, my friend. You're a good dude. You will be successful. And any eye damage, you will rebuild. I would say this. You could also use the eye wash topically. Start pulling that lymph out the eye this way. Absolutely. Use that eye wash. I use it twice a day. 10, 12 drops in a little eye cup. They sell the eye cups here, $2 or $3. And wash those eyes out every day. You could use it internally as well. So there's a lot of things you can do to start moving and start this expectoration. Sometimes you can candle your ears and it just makes the sinuses start dumping. Sometimes that's a blocker. So you're in a process of just opening all the doors to let this sewer system have a chance to flow and to get out. And all that pressure will come out, tissue will rebuild. You could use the upper circuit brain and nerve to rebuild any eye tissue damage, any optic nerve damage. Upper circuit brain and nerve to rebuild. But move those limbs, Life Regenerator, and you'll be the life regenerator of all life regenerators. Now, this is Eric. Hello, Dr. Morris. What would you think in long-term effects of heavy metal chemicals? Don't like it? Oh, we just had Yoga by Jane, I think, was in here. I think that was her name. I know what her real name is, but I won't say it. Lovely soul, but major chemical toxicity, lives in L.A. We've got a lot of rock and rollers living in L.A., and they're sick as a dog. This is a toxic cesspool of acidosis in L.A. She lives by the beach. It's better. She got air coming in, but still she's having major chemical toxicity. This is about the chemtrails. What the chemtrail? What is a chemtrail? This couldn't be the government dumping everything like HIV and all that. You know, I don't know. You know what? You never saw chemtrails like that. You never saw trails from planes that bad ever. And that's scary. I don't know. I mean, I'm familiar with chemtrails. We read what they say they found in chemtrails. Man, that's interesting. There was a farmer, a rancher out west, was losing a lot of his cattle. He couldn't figure it out. And so he went to his neighbors, which were all ranchers. And they were saying, hey, Jim, I've been losing some cattle here lately. How about you? Yeah, I've been noticing more cattle lost than normal. So they had a big meeting against the local ranchers. And they all were talking about excessive cattle dying. So they figured out that the main element between all of them was this particular fertilizer. And so they took this fertilizer to a lab, and this lab found nuclear waste in it. And they traced this fertilizer company to a nuclear plant that claimed that they were selling their wastes or paying these fertilizer companies to dispose of these wastes. Don't know if it's true. Definitely a story we heard. Makes you sick to think about it, since we're talking about a 2,000-year lifespan. So I don't know what to think. I think if that's true, a lot of people, and I don't lie, man, you're going to like this, but we could do it in the art of love and joy. Put these guys in a little bit of a restricted area, say 10 by 10 for a while, and have them say, I love God and nature, and I'll never destroy it again. Yeah, but it'd just make their next life better, don't you think? Like if they can go through their karma now easier, then they won't have to go. See, you can look at it on the positive side. Karen Rankin. Hi there, Joy, who wants to work with dogs. Yeah, Joy's a bit of a joy. You'll find that out, Karen. I think I already talked about Kelly here. And I appreciate you, JG, and everything you've done there. Good man. You're smart. All you guys are smart. JG, you're really a smart guy. Sometimes you can't help people. Sometimes their diets, they don't get it. And yet, nothing, people come in here and say, oh, this doesn't do anything for me. As soon as you sit them down and ask them what they're eating and they're truthful, pretty soon you'll find why they're not getting success. But everybody's got to blossom at their own time, and self-discipline is tough. A lot of you guys are very spiritual. You're ongoing. You're hungry. Notice the spiritual people have a lot easier time going raw. Absolutely. So Kelly's got to blossom and open up and start loving herself outside of the pain of the body. And I think that she'll blossom into this. If she doesn't get serious, then there's no remedy. And you'll carry this. Things don't get better, Kelly. Things always get worse. And so catch it. Get the knowledge and catch it and understand what you're after, and you'll be successful. 132. Hey, Mango Mark. I'm back at you. Mango Mark. Had an appointment with this guy. Good dude. Good advice there. You could use a bowel formula definitely during these lemon cleanses. A friend of mine named Mutt used bowel formulas on a 27-day lemon fast and still got stool out up to the 20-something day. So yeah, this is good advice. I wouldn't do a laxative because when you don't get stool, you don't get stool. So what? I mean, after the 20th day or so, you might not get much. So that's okay. But you can use a bowel formula till then, absolutely. Kind of keep yourself moving a little bit, not aggressively, just a little bit, no laxatives, restoratives. Butterfield, good comments, guys. Drum roll, please. I have sediment in my urine. I know. Good work, all you guys. Good work. I sure wish someone would have taught me this stuff from childhood. I know. I wish I wasn't raised on milk. I wish a lot of things. But be here now, guys. Be here now. We are where we are. We are where we are. We know what we are because of our past. Now it's awakening time. We're not our bodies anyway. So it's time to blossom spiritually too. It's time for all of us to take wings and take flight and give the God force to this starving planet. And hopefully the impact we can make will be tremendous, especially in the healing arts, which to me is the most humble thing you can do, is help others, including the animals and the plants, to have a healthy and happy experience. If they don't, that's also the nature of creation. The nature of creation is dual. There's two sides to it. You're going to have your good days, you're going to have your not so good days. That's the natural swing of things. But if you live in the now, those days won't affect you. They might affect your body, but they won't affect you. So have fun with those. And for about 5 to 7 minutes upon awakening, my right eye remains blurry. Yeah, definitely use that eye wash. Move with that eye wash. Clean those eyes out. You can take it internally. Move those lymphs, though. That's also an indication of sluggish lymph, which can break down nerve tissue and spasm the eyelids, make the eyelids heavy, all these things. Check your parathyroid, too. Random Raw Uncut. I've been through many yeah, I've read this before. You did good, sweetheart. Things are scary, no question. I've been scared, let me tell you, won't lie to you. But, you know what, I had no one there to pat me on the back and say, you're okay. I had no one, so I rode through it with the power of what I thought and my conviction that this was the road and the power of the books I was reading. And so you have help. I'll walk with each and every one of you. And so you have us as a reserve to call and have a friend that helps thousands go this way, so you'll be okay. Like I said, if we need medical help, we need medical help, okay. But keep driving down this road. Don't lose your focus. Helen Roses has been in the media regarding his meat. I can't believe. First of all, if you're a professor and you think that you should have a meat-only, high-fiber diet for IBS, and I'm going to question your professorship, and he's a professor of gastroenterology. This guy hasn't got a clue. This is just, here's a professor. Shame on you, professor. You don't give protein with IBS. You don't give protein with any pain. You don't know that? You don't know about acids? You don't know about the high phosphorus and what it does? You don't know putrefaction and what it does? Yeah, high protein with IBS? What are you thinking, man? You need to go back to school, professor. Learn the chemistry a little more. Learn the nature of foods. You got IBS, you want to move your lymph. This is in the wall, interstitial lymphatic constipation. This is acidosis. This is what destroys the cells of the bowel, destroys the cell of the whole body. This is that precursor to cancer. How do you damage a cell and make it a cancer cell, professor? I mean, this is the kind of crap you're going to do, just like the Atkins guy. Hurt a lot of people. Too many studies done, Professor, linking protein to colon cancer. Haven't you read the studies? This idea of medical doctors in love with protein is something they've got to lose, because there's no fact in chemistry or physics that back them up. Sorry that you had to put up with this guy. He has told me to only eat meat, but I love my veggies. It may sound strange, but dead animal tissue stuck in my teeth feels horrible to me. What do you think about a meat-only diet for IBS? I think you're getting a good idea, Helen Roses. Oh, that drives me nuts. And he's a professor, or claims to be a professor. The wrong kind of professor. The kind of professor that can get a lot of people hurt, lose a lot of people's bowels and have resections and cause a lot of people bowel cancer. Can't do it. I didn't mention his name, did I? You can see that on YouTube. This guy's nuts. Matter of fact, when you're in pain, you take no protein. I've proved this to medical doctor after medical doctor. Protein only exacerbates pain. Of course it does. It's acidic. It's nitrogen. No. No, no, no. But if you want to go that route, I told you so. I told you so. Little Miss 40. 40. Oh, gosh, I remember that. No, I haven't reached that yet. I'm almost to 40. So when I get to 40, Little Miss 40, we'll party. Let me see. Thank you with the good comments there. Appreciate you, dear one. Oh, I'm just, you know what, Zoe Lloyd, a.k.a. Little Miss 40. I've hit this B12 and vitamin D until I'm blue in the face, honey, so it's enough to say I don't buy into any of that. Got to be careful with the vitamin D, too. I mean, you can take it if you want. I don't care. But I'm one that believes in full spectrum light and get your butt out in the light and the sun. Also, I know you're from England, right, so you have a hard time maybe getting that, but you do the best you can. Also, zeolite. You know, treating even stage 4 tumors, volcanic mineral. I think making that claim is very serious. It's a very serious mistake in making a claim that a volcanic heavy mineralized substance is going to somehow cure stage 4 cancer. I say if someone's taking that and they're doing a lot of other things, that a lot of the other things is doing it before the volcanic ash is doing it. Not that it isn't okay to take in some mineral issues, but you have to be careful about taking too elemental of minerals into the body, because this can create more problems. We tend to in Europe and the Eastern Bloc countries to use a lot of clays and stuff, but you have to be careful with clays and things as well. So especially internally. Ingesting, putting on the skin, using its poultices. Okay. That reminded me about a poultice. That was a lady with pain in the female areas. You know, you can use a Heal All Tea poultice down there. I was just remembering that. You could use a female napkin and hold that, put it full of Heal All Tea and hold that up against yourself there, and let that soak in there too. Now, when you're in stage 4 tumors, what's the problem? It's a backed up lymph system, isn't it? Yeah, there's acidosis present. If you could say this creates some hydration, you understand, if you understand what cancer is and someone makes a claim like this, that's difficult for me to buy into. I don't get into elementals much anymore. Dirt isn't the level of dirt or volcanic ash. It doesn't matter how rich it is. The plant will love it. And then remember, I talked about salts, and I don't remember if I got this on the last end. It didn't get recorded this morning, but remember the plants love the elementals. But we don't go digging in the dirt to eat the dirt. We like to pick and get the salts. After the plant converts the elementals into salts, then our body goes for the salts. That's why people like salts. But the salt is the key to the health of the human body, is all the mineral salts, the cell salts. And there's a lot of different cell salts. I used to use them in my practice. I didn't find any changes, so I quit using cell salts. They're in your fruits and veggies, they're in everything anyway. And it's when you have the combination of the mineralized, or what the plants do to the minerals. So I don't buy into the cure all that and the cell, I just don't play that game. Some people can feel better, but I'm taking you guys to the top of the mountain, and nothing can compare to this level of health and healing. And it doesn't involve eating elementals or earthly type things in terms of closer to the ground or the ground. That's not necessary. We went through a stage of minerals this, minerals that. And guess what? We blew out of that stage years ago. Some people have never left that stage because it didn't work. So some of us moved way on down the road from there. But thanks, Zoe and Little Miss 40. Now, Little Miss 40, you have suffered with breast cysts and polycystic ovaries. Get your lymph moving, dear one. Get those kidneys and those adrenals up and get this lymph moving and get those cysts out of those breasts and get those cysts out of those ovaries. This is real important for you to move this because of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get that out, sweetheart. And when you talk about breast cancer, start introducing the public to the truth as you know it. Because a lot of people are throwing a lot of money to the same old people. And the same old people have the same old, I don't know. But keep paying for research. Someday we'll find the answer. While several thousands of women die each year from it, who doesn't need to at all? Women get fearful when they feel things and sometimes hide it and don't tell anybody because they're scared. Don't be. Learn the lymph and learn how to move your lymph. Learn the role of the kidneys and the adrenals, and you can pull these tumors and these cysts right out of your body. Real easy, real simple. You have to anyway. You have to. This is just a wake-up call to kidney and adrenal problems. And by fixing those two, you're touching this gigantic lymph system that comprises 3/4 of the interstitial fluids that flow around the cells. So don't let anybody fool you. You know what your focus is, Little Miss 40. And get to it, honey. You're a great soul. Get to it. Get your body cleaned up. I know what you mean about feeling cooked food. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Been raw for almost 4 months, and when I decided to break raw 2 days ago, I used peanut butter on celery. Yeah, I can see why. 30 minutes later, I just about passed out, got a headache, and then later that night I got a fever. I then decided to have a strawberry Belgium waffle with whipped cream. Oh my God, after a raw diet, that had to kick your butt. And a side of pancakes this morning. I did not feel sick, just a heavy, tired stomach. And had you been raw for several years, you could have got a real bad butt kicking, honey. I can tell you that. Or is this a man? This is a male. Yeah, man. Yeah, you got a butt kicking, all right. But you were only raw for that short time. Like I said, imagine being raw for years and doing something like this. I was raw for 3 years, had a little piece of fish, and spazzing my kidneys so bad I ended up in the hospital. Ha! Kratos. Yeah. Go back raw, man. Go back to your raw again. Belgian waffles don't love you anymore. But you cheat once in a while. Strawberry Belgian waffle does sound pretty good now that you mentioned it. Of course, you could use organic or, fresh maple syrup. That's cooked to death. I tell you, the life on this planet is fun and funny because we've got to love in so many things, Daniel, Skip. I take my glasses off, huh? I know it. This planet is tough. I'm just tired of all the suffering and all this narcissistic crap among governments and stuff. Latin. It is necessary to give my baby vitamin D drops because I breastfeed. Tina. I don't think so. I'd be careful about giving my baby oils because oils are the most toxic part of plants. I'd be real careful about that. I'm not sure I'd do that. But how old is the baby, honey? But I would definitely be thinking of the fruits, the blends, the nutrition as you move them away from the breastfeeding. If you're not breastfeeding and using formulas, make your own. And we've talked about that before, getting the coconut milks, the almond milks, using fruit juices and stuff like this. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Hemp seed, chia seed powder. I mean, you can build a monster, kid. Nothing to be shared over there. I noticed when I cut out fat, spices, and sea salt, my detox accelerated. Good work, 3 Night. Nigmaticon. Well, you guys come up with some tongue twisters. I got to stop and go through this. But yeah. What's cool here is proof is in the pudding. That's why if you can get your clients you're working on, guys, and your friends, to go a month on raw, just like this gentleman that was 4 months on raw or something, and decided he wanted to have a waffle and stuff, kicked his butt. The peanut butter kicked his butt. That's self-educating. It is self-educating. I've had my butt kicked for a lot of times, and I still will do something bad and get my butt kicked. Nature of the beast, human consciousness. But just keep pulling yourself back and keep going down the road. Don't beat yourself up. Pick yourself up and go right on down the road. Keep going. And get yourself. You'll come back into a balance when you detoxify. And that's okay. Nobody's holding a club over here. We don't judge anybody on this site. So, but when you're going down this road, you got to shinny up and do a good job. And get raw. And get your lymph moving. And once you've accomplished that, you've done so much for your physical body, and then you blossom spiritually. So, fantastic job. And you guys, I have to say, I've never seen such a great group of people together doing such good work. You guys are fantastic. I love every one of you guys. Rosalind, you're welcome, honey. Thanks for the input, sweetie. I don't know about this product, Eric, you're talking about. Shilajit. I'm not familiar with that. I live in a little hole in the wall. Sometimes I don't get information. I certainly don't go looking for it. I'm half burned out as it is. Good products are going to be all herbal. And the ratio of herbs, you want at least a 1-to-4. Excuse me. I've been flapping these jaws all day long. You want at least a 1-to-4 concentrate. Blessed Herbs was doing his at 1-to-5. I want 1-to-4 because I said, what's the most packed ratio we can get without having to go through the blow drying and all this stuff to get down to 1-to-1, 1-to-2. I think you start losing some essences when you get too low. And homeopathics, they're okay for symptom treating, but the essence of things, I like the power of chemistry, I don't know. But You just want to have a good formula, and a good formula will make you feel good. You'll feel good on it. You will find some effect, and especially the healthier you are, you guys will know when you take something the power of it, because you'll be intuitive. You'll feel that. It's like muscle testing, and I keep forgetting to do a video, but I haven't had the time. So forgive me, but I will show you a video on muscle testing, so you know how to test these herbs and things on you to make sure your body likes them enough. Oh, I like your picture. So no hatred. I like the gorilla. Hey, bro. But sorry about the ranting and raving. Sometimes you're seeing the dark side of me. But I don't know. You know what? I see so much coming into this clinic, it just makes you sick. Just constant coming in with serious problems. I have so much brain tumors now. Here's the medical doctor wanting me to call him with someone with lesions in the brain and short period to live, and got all kinds of stuff. I mean, we got all kinds of things there. But that's why I need you guys. Let me see here. The better they become, the planet will be. Yeah, you're right on, Rosalind. You're right on, honey. You're right on. Yeah, there's a rumor about the money thing. I don't know why bad rumors take. What's going on with Dan the Man's spot? A lot of hate stuff, a lot of misinformation. Dan, you need to grab a hold of yourself and your viewers and take care of them. Now you got 099087662. Hunter Lester, yeah, you know what? I definitely put here as a little bit of a warrior. I know, Lion Man, exactly where you come from. I do try to maintain. I don't care. I'm not from this world. I know where I'm from. The detachment of the self from creation. But at the same time, you're either going to sit around here or you're going to have activity, and you're going to help the flow of God through you. It helps you because it allows you to absorb into the allness. At the same time, it's putting out truth and that power for all to absorb into it as well. And those that are less than or hurting others will just simply have to learn how to deal with it. And sometimes they need their experiences to wake up too. Sometimes it takes a little of that to say, hi, oh yeah, I was sleeping. Thank you, Duggar. Thank you, guys. I'm a rant and raver sometimes. If you guys sit here, you'd see exactly what I mean. And you're seeing it already. A lot of you guys are getting some good experiences. I think it was, and Brandon, I don't know if I got back to you on the case you asked me about. So hoping I'm getting to this. You asked me about a case here. And I'm just overwhelmed here with these things, so forgive me. If you have to call in here, Brandon, call in here. Talk to Jennifer. Of course, that counting thing kind of got to her. Angel B88, nice picture. Thanks for talking about positive thinking, the body, I agree. Yeah, you're the one I was talking about here earlier. Might not have got on the video. You really have to remove the obstruction physically, and you saw that firsthand. I've watched this for years. The spiritual side is used to be my only. I gave up this for a while because have states on you and have everybody on you, and you don't make a good living. And I mean, to tell you, it's tough to make a living in the earlier years. I mean, really you're living in your office, and you might have a client a week or two. And you really have to go out and educate and teach people, and God always threw me into doing that. So that's why I'm an educator. That's all I've known. But
I see the importance of it, and I see why it brought me through the channels that it did, and the same thing with you guys. And educating your friends and learning this. And that's why I say, go walk on a beach, go walk in the woods, and give your talks to the animals and the plants. Learn how to take what you see and bring it down into verbalage, into speech. Because you can see so much more in the mental worlds than you can produce in the physical world. And you've seen that where you see and you know, but then when you talk, it just doesn't come out right. And that's where you have to connect more beyond the mind. We're feeding your mind and giving you all the information. And once you get that down, then let that go. Don't keep trying to put information in there. Keep it simple. And then, when you give a talk, step back and let the Supreme Being work through you. Your mind will give you just what you need to say in that moment. But practice that in the woods or walking beaches. Practice it with I used to practice it with the seagulls. And you just begin to articulate the way you want to. And your best articulation is when you take you out of the equation. That'll take the fear out of the equation. Because public speaking is fearful. And I used to throw up before I would speak. And when I first started speaking, I was like this. I would write what I wanted to say, and I would try to stop my hands from shaking, but I knew I had to do it. I was being pushed. So go out and have fun and play with this, and start educating the world and the trees, and bring what you know and what you see and what you've experienced. Bring that out in verbalage, and you'll get it down and be able to do that. Lion Man, well said. Thank you. Thank you, Lion Man. I love you too. You're a good dude. I love the way you see life. I see it the same. But we are the same. Brood Strange. Boy, I love that name for some reason. Matt from Canada here. Hey, Matt from Canada. Quick question about detox process later. If someone was eating fruit all day and a salad at night and they were going to cheat once a week, would it be better to go for a handful of raw sunflower seeds or a cooked sweet potato? Well, that's easy. Is it easy? Yes. I think raw sunflower seeds would be your better cheat, obviously, for nutritively speaking. But a good sweet potato is pretty good, but you've cooked it. So yeah, always raw is going to be better. What do you think about a homemade vegetable broth from cooked vegetables as a cheat? Sure. You in Canada are coming in the cold, Matt, and you're going to have to find some way like this to help that. In the day where you have a little more light, depending where you live, and the heat is up and the light's out, you have less fear, you have more control. At night, when you really start dropping temperatures, that's when you could have some vegetable broth and vegetable soup, things like that. But through the day, if you're detoxing, through the day, fruits, berries, and melons, if you can keep it up. And use warm teas like Hillel tea to warm you up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You mentioned, this is from Brood Strange, same human. Thinness moles should watch for and be mindful of a move towards the other direction, being type 2. Yeah. Can you speak a little bit on how we should watch for this and what steps we should take if you notice it happening? Should we start to take our blood sugar levels? And also, do you get fruit flies? And if so, what do you do with them? You eat them. If you're on a raw food diet, and I wouldn't worry about my blood sugars, unless you know for sure you're getting lightheaded or too dizzy, or you can't go without eating too long, then I'd have my blood sugars checked. But if you're working on your adrenal glands, you're working on your kidneys, you're asymptomatic, meaning you feel good, everything's good, I wouldn't worry about it a bit. Not a bit. Pancreas, it'd be the adrenals that you're dealing in sugar metabolism, like hypo or hyperglycemia, hypoglycemia, hyper type 2. Thinness, moles, again, a malabsorption. The moles are adrenal, sugar metabolism. Thinness is going to be either pancreatic or malabsorption. So go after your GI tract in that way, and you'll be okay, Mitt. The problem when you're thin like that, of course, is cold is even worse, but you're going to get a little thinner trying to rectify the interstitial lymphatic constipation. You're going to get a little thinner, and people can't over worry about that. You can't help it. So, you just keep working through this. It doesn't matter if anybody doesn't understand around you. You can be strong, and you know that where you're at and the focus you want to have. And you go down it. You always have a bunch of friends in this clinic to help you guys. And you do the best you can. No one ever gets more out of you. I thought I was getting there. Look at this thick stuff. I'll come in the morning and shoot some more, guys. I apologize for being slow. We just had so many problems here. This a testimony that was never posted. Again, I think I might have said that on this morning's video. They didn't get rid of that. I'm sorry about that. CSTAH. I don't know why that happened. I apologize. I have no idea what's in that. Forgot to mention in my daughter's testimony that we continue to do the raw fruit. Something good come of your daughter, eh? I mean, you'll see yourselves getting well, and that's the big issue. You're going to start to see all your problems go away. Hang in there. You didn't create them overnight, and you won't get rid of them overnight. No offense. Some people do. Some people, bam, and they clean up. Others take a little while. Look at old Danger Man. Old Danger Man got rid of a big tumor on the side of his neck in a month. I can't be down with my eyes because there's not too much pigment in it. Oh yeah. Well, I was saying this earlier too. When you have real black eyes, you got to get that light in on the side of the eyes. That'll reflect off all the fibers and give a dimension to your eye. We have some of the blackest eyes in here, and we set up a two-light system to help get in there. If you're doing a flash straight away, you won't get a good picture with dark eyes. You do have to come in with the side lights, which will accent on any of the lesions and or cojones, crypts, the like, lacunas. Now this person is SHERSTUG. I'm also a little skinny, but also have a low thyroid. Guessing this is the cause of a weak pancreas and poor digestion. It could slow down digestion, and it could be a weak pancreas or malabsorption. I don't know which I'd rather have, to be honest with you. I love being rock from yoga. Yeah. 1.5 hour yoga in a very hot room, so you sweat a lot. Yeah, I've heard about that. What do you think? I think it's okay. I think that you pick up your thyroid function either with a glandular or use a thyroid formula, use a lot of kelp in your life. You start detoxifying your lymph system. You get your kidneys and adrenals up there, but cleaning your lymph system will clean up any interstitial lymphatic constipation that you have in the wall of your gut, using lymphatic 1 capsules or something like that, and a stomach and bowel formula to clean the gut itself, and you'll work past that. Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Shireen from Holland. Go, Holland. Thanks, Shireen. I mean, just keep working that way. Lemonade. Go, sweetheart. Go. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, and you got to cook for your husband. Isn't that a bummer? But I hear that all the time, where the wife is raw and doing well, and then she's got to cook for the old man. Gosh, us men, we got to get to it. The women are kicking our butts. That's my male side that said that. Let me see here. This is from the Holy Buttman. I think, yeah. Ever since I adopted a very high fruit diet, my front, upper, and lower teeth have started to stain. I've never seen fruit stain teeth. Fruit is supposed to clean your teeth. So I've never seen fruit stain teeth. So unless you're doing the berries, like the blackberries and the blueberries, you might see some staining going on there. Use that sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, to help clean the teeth. But generally speaking, your more astringents, like your lemons and your grapes and stuff, they clean your teeth. Some days, and you could use the Heal All tea as a mouthwash, a little bit of an astringent. Some days, and you could use the Heal All tea as a mouthwash, a little bit of an astringent. Some days I eat fruit, mainly apples, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, mangoes, raspberries, frozen pineapple, and peaches from morning till noon. Then I have a glass of vegetable juice and add some nuts and seeds. On the nuts and seeds, if you're detoxifying. Brandon, if you're not detoxifying, man, okay. But if you're detoxifying, nixay on the nuts and seeds. And throughout the day. But most days I do fruit all day, especially fruit smoothies, with a salad at night. That's more like it. Is there anything I could do about this staining? Yeah, use the baking soda on the teeth. Stay away from the blueberries maybe and any blackberries. Kick up on the grapes, though. You haven't mentioned that. Make sure that pineapple isn't too acidic. That alone should clean your teeth. I'm going to address this tomorrow morning. Now, thank you so much, Jagger Myers. I hope to see you at my class. We're going to have a nice class this year, I think. It'll be fun. Matter of fact, if it's mostly you guys, I don't know where we're at. Kathy might not be coming back. She's ready to retire. She's only went down to 4 days and 3 days. She called from Massachusetts and she's not feeling good, so she might not come back. So now we're stretched with having someone here take off over the class stuff. But it's moving kind of fast on us, so we really have to get our advertising out. See, we advertise internationally, so very expensive and somewhat difficult. But if we have a big class, and a lot of you guys already know a lot of this, we're going to have fun because I'm going to tear into case studies more, which is what I really like. The bottom line is your clients. The bottom line is how do you do it? Getting the basic stuff, lymph, acids, okay, you guys got a pretty good, getting a good handle on it. The next side of this is cases. What do you do with them? You've got an actual case in front of you. What do? You don't panic. You understand what you know to be true. And so I'm going to help you guys with this because you'll go out and you won't be like me. What do I tell them? What do I do? I had no help. And so my first client is, what am I going to tell them? What am I going to say? I had to work up So you guys will ease into this really, and you're already helping so many people. So you guys are way ahead of me. Good job. One more here, and then I've got to go here, and this is KALKE. Woo! What parasite form is more effective, tincture or capsule? That depends. If you have intestinal parasites, liver flukes, pancreatic flukes, go with the capsules. You want to get those herbs into the gut. Also, that's why I like Parasite G capsules and Parasite M liquid. Now you're getting absorbed quicker, better through the system, and 2, you're going through the GI tract with capsules. Love that. Anything you want to get to the GI tract, the liver, and the pancreas, go capsules. When you want it to absorb quicker into the body, go tinctures. And then you'll be good. Shipping. I know. Shipping. I think that's where you're talking about corporate greed, like Exxon. Oh, we don't care if we're making billions. Our shareholders, if there was any government intrusion at all, it should be not a blocking putting oil on the futures market. Then we wouldn't be where we are. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll get to the rest of these tomorrow. I'll come in here and I'll finish up on these and any ones for tonight. You're not going to get this one, and I'm going to already have recorded tomorrow before you get this one. So that's just the way it is in record land, right? So thank you so much. Can't say enough. Love you all. Peace, and have a great afternoon if you get this in the afternoon or whenever. And keep up that strength. You guys are showing me some good stuff. You're all spiritual family here. Thank you. Love you all. Bye-bye now.